Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble. June gathers. We aren't going to be concluding terribly named team versus Wonderland because I was told that there was a bunch of disconnects and a bunch of waiting in the match 2 that wasn't particularly interesting to see, but terribly named team did take that series 2-0. And now we are back with Run, who we saw this morning. Once again, that's Uberancy, Namba, and Roach Cake versus Check Yourselves eSports, which is Ubi, Dave W, and Nikki. And this is actually the team that has won the past 2 gathers. Previously, well, first they changed their name every month. During April, their name was Cootman. During May, their name was Doo-Doo Demons. And now it's Check Yourselves eSports. I gotta love the names, Spyro. I gotta love the names.
Yeah, I just have like a random name generator that seems like it. I mean, like, I can't blame them. I like the names. They're pretty good, but yeah.
Indeed. Well, anyways, I want to remind everyone we are doing our betting system. Type who you think is going to win in the chat, red team or blue team. Guess correctly to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. Check yourself eSports. They're going to be betting out Penny and Jimmy in the Looks 5000 and be picking up Penny, X, and Raylan. And Run is going to be betting out Genji and Scolder and picking up a Deadlift, Wiggins, and a Ted McPayne. How are you feeling about these comps, sir?
There is that X against the Swigs matchup again that we were talking about in the last match, which is kind of like, you know, you kind of simply don't want to do that a whole lot of the time. Maybe they're kind of forced into it, which is, you know, why the draft process happens. But at the same time, that's definitely going to be rough. On the other hand, there is going to be the deadlift on the blue team. So the thing about deadlift is that it's, you know, in the current meta, if you will, it is pretty much you have to ban deadlift because he has a lot of potential when it comes to team comps. He can negate a lot of burst, a lot of damage, as well as just really high mobility and really difficult to kill, especially on Serona, where he can just basically lunge across the map, like almost literally in some cases, depending on where and how you do it. At the same time, though, it's going to be a lot of mobility coming up from the red team as well. Vinny, a flyer, open map. It's going to be a lot of angles that he can come at you from, and then, you know, like I said, Ix effectively a flyer, let's be honest, as well as just, you know, Ix being able to negate a lot of damage himself, and still going to be able to dish out a considerable amount of the CC as well as damage himself in his own right. And beyond that, Raylan and Ted and that kind of matchup is, I would say, fairly even. I would say both of them range characters as well as giving out a decent amount of burst. On this map with its openness, that range can come in handy. So as far as like drafts go, I would say that it is going to be favoring the red team somewhat. Like I said, just because of that X pickup and the potential that can come out from that. You know, swap into Rift, or swap into a Silence Dive or Blind Cloud, things like that. And I do see it being a rough, especially for Swiggins, on the blue team to come with a good answer for that.
Definitely. I think that red team is so much more mobile and fast, and it's Nikki Raylan, which, like, Nikki's that Raylan that, like, just all this crud that you're like, I didn't think that was gonna happen. No, Raylan's dead here. Never mind, he just got a triple kill. That's what Nikki Raylan is like. He baits people so hard and gets them stuck in rifts. It's hilarious to watch. So I'm expecting a little bit about that, especially on knots like Deadlift and Swiggins who have to go into Raylan's face in order to deal their damage. Uberancy not so much because he's got the air shot, he's got that Pedros, he's got the stun pack. But I'm expecting some totally cheeky kills coming up from Nikki onto the Namba and what do you call it? Namba's deadlift and With that said, though, we've talked about this long enough. Are you ready to get into this match, my friend?
Let's go ahead and get started with it.
Alrighty, would you like to give us a countdown?
Let's go ahead and do this in 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off. On the red team, you got Ubi playing the X, you got Dave W playing the Vinny and Spike, and Nikki playing that Raylan. Gotta love that clan tag. Namba playing the deadlift on the blue team. Rich Cake playing Swiggins for a run, and Uberancy gonna be playing his Ted McPayne that he's so known for. And they are off. And God, I just want to keep talking about that clan tag. See y'all. Check yourselves eSports.
Right,
and they're
pretty good.
And blue team gonna need to check themselves. Uberancy taking a lot of damage, and there's gonna be a spike dive coming out. So look at that! Look at that body block with the sniper. The first blood gonna be going down onto Roach Cake. What did I say about Nikki's Raylan? Like, come on, that body block couldn't have been better. Oh my God, he read that so well.
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate on Swigs part. Like he could have just easily kept going through the jump pad arc, but some decided to cancel his own jump and just unfortunately just kind of like ended up in that rift. But that being said, Nikki is going to be going his auto attack build that we've seen come out recently, so it's going to be his direct damage to his auto attack on Awesomenauts exclusively. No one really picking on this. Life's still going to be coming out both stages on Nyx with that piggy. Silence Dash going to be coming out on what's his face, Vinny and Spike, and there's going to be a sniper there. Missed or not? Okay, it just took a while to register.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I was like, I was about to make fun of Nikki for missing XD.
Yeah, so was I, and I was like, that actually, no, never mind. There's just a bit of lag there, unfortunately, as it seems. But nonetheless, going to be picking up another kill on Swiggins, actually, right there. So Swiggins, like I said, going to be kind of in a rough spot to find any kind of a good call, or a good response, I should say, to this kind of team right there. Because right now, he's just kind of in a rough spot entirely. Like, not really going to be finding a whole lot. That is going to be the bottom turret down already. A little over 2 minutes in, and already a turret down. It's going to be tough to kind of come back from that, I would say. That is going to be Nanba going back. Going to be almost dead right there. Swoon's going to be trying to go in for some kind of initiation, but not really going to find anything else other than that. A little bit of damage. They're just going to be, red team going to be backing off a little bit, potentially going back to get some upgrades. And like I said, bottom turret already down. Even their back turret's taking a touch of damage, at least. Health bar showing up in that case. And blue team doesn't really have a whole lot of ground to stand on at this point. They are same level, but 2 kills behind, and just a whole lot of map control, a lot of harassment coming out from the red team. What do you think that the blue team at this point needs to do different to maybe see some change that they would like to see?
Oh, well, they need to find some of these frags. Right now, I think they're getting stuck in another rift again, and now get swapped back up, and the Predator is about to go down. But like during these fights, that's like the perfect time for, you know, after all those abilities get consumed. Head goes in, stun pack airstrike, boom, that's a frag. You know, Swingins goes in, anchor dive hook, boom, that's a frag. Like, that's how it works. You know, that's how your deadlift comp works. Deadlift tanks for the team so that they can go in. Uber's getting caught another ref. He's taking a lot of damage. He Nikki not going in very low himself in that engagement, so he's not going to be looking for the snipe blast hit to take out Uberancy. So they're both going to live to see another day. Roachcake going in, but he's only got 50% health. He's got a lot of droids to clean up. And he's going to hook up Nikki there. Nikki might be going down there, and Namba going to pick up the frag. That's going to be a 1-0 in favor of the blue team and bringing kills 2-1. Uberancy going in, dealing a lot of damage, but he needs to watch himself. He said to a spike dive. He's getting out at 46 HP. Uberancy proving me wrong. Roachcake taking a lot of damage there. He needs to watch out. Needs to not get spike dive. Unfortunately, he was still on cooldown, and so they're actually going to get out of that without taking any deaths. That's actually really, really good. And now they're all back lane. They weren't able to get any push off of it. I mean, literally, there's been 0 push whatsoever on the red team turrets. I mean, none. Like, not 1 damage to hell. Like, none. And so they do need to, you know, try their best to, you know, take mid a bit so that they can really capitalize on the kills. Because, right, even after Nikki died, Ubi and Dave W, they did so much work just keeping them pressured off in a 2v3 scenario and still keeping the blue team at their turrets. 2v3. Slime going out. It's not going to be it. We're going to see a big engagement coming out. A nice spike dive coming out from Dave W. Go ahead and take them down to a couple of bars. And Uberancy going out for an airstrike, hit some droids, and that's going to be it. Spike dive coming out to Uberancy, and Namba almost gets sniped as he peeks that head above, but Uberancy needs to watch out. Ubi going to be healing off Dave W while they clear out that bottom lane. Continue that siege on that top turret, taking out little by little. Spike dive coming out to Roachcake. Uberancy going to go ahead and pick up that health pack. Deadlift and a little bit of engagement. Going to use the protective pose to protect him from the snipe from Raylan. Anchor dive coming out for Uberancy. Just 2 bars. He's going to get out. I believe Deadlift probably could have killed him now. Roachcake's on the hunt. He manages to find Dave W, who body blocks it for Nikki, and in exchange, Dave W spike dives Roachcakes for the assassination. When they go in to try and punish that, Nikki takes out the other guy, and now finally a swap from Ubi right before Uberancy gets to the turret, and it's going to let set up Nikki for the wipeout and completely take out the enemy team in a 3-for-0 exchange. They're going to get the push set up and quite likely deal a lot of damage to that back turret before the red team can do anything, before the red team has to get out. But Dave W actually ain't taking out Namba going in more or less 1v3 and actually manages to do a lot of damage. That Bond gonna get canceled out. Namba gonna also take out Nikki there, take up a double kill. He might be in a position, he doesn't even need to get the triple kill. Roachcake gonna go in, clean that up. Very, very well done. Few teams few players can go in versus Nikki, Ubi, and Dave W and just be like, well, I'm just gonna style on y'all and actually style on that the way that Namba did right there. That was very well done. Now we're gonna see the first push of the game in favor of Run coming out here. That brought the kills 5-4 and actually even up the levels. You know, they're still in this, and Dave W taking a lot of damage, but there's gonna be a spike dive, and now he's gonna be taking a lot. This Rift's gonna get dropped. Not much else happening on that front. No snipe yet. Nikki going in very aggressively. Dealing so much damage, just 1v3 and trying to bait them out. He is not stopping. This guy has no chill, and there is going to be his snipe under Uberency. Nikki just literally walking forward as Raylan versus Deadlift Sweets in Ted and picking up a kill. Like
something you see a whole lot.
Yeah, now we see Neba taking on Dave W. And Anchor Dive going in, gonna hit both of them, but that's unfortunate. That leap was gonna be a miss, and now they're gonna punish him by taking him out. That would have 100% been a frag on Nikki if he hadn't missed that. Now the push continues. They got a bunch of droids. Ripskick doesn't have any AoE, but Uberency back in lane. Using the shotgun on those droids. What do they need to do to come back from this, Pyro?
I think it's about actually being a little bit more aggressive than they are. Right now, they're being forced a little bit behind, but the differences aren't that great. I mean, they do have 5 kills to their 8. Levels are pretty even. Solar is going to be considerably in the favor of the red team, I'll say, but at the same time, it's still pretty early game. It's a little less than 8 minutes in, and so they do have potentially something's going in. You know, right there, 1v3, even as Deadlift, not the greatest idea, I would say. At this point, it's pretty difficult to say exactly what they're going to do. The red team is just so aggressive at this point, and it's going to be just walking into their base at this point. I think it's pretty tough to see them coming back from this. You know, they got that one decent push that got the bottom turret to half health, but other than that, not going to be a whole lot to see. Suwin's going to be right there trying to go in. Ted going to be looking to pick up at least a kill right there, and then Nick going to be caught right there behind the lip of the platform right there, and just going to be teleporting out in that case. But yeah, base exposure on the blue side. Red team not really worried about the turrets at all. I don't really see a reason for them to be. I'm actually a little surprised on the droid pickup on Nikki's Rift on Raven right there. You know, not bad. Potentially more body blocking options. And Swiggins is going to be going down right there. Speaking of which, so yeah, I think what it comes down to is just like, I don't necessarily want to call it before it's over, but I think it's pretty tough to come back from something like this. You see what they can do, if there's anything they can do at this point.
What I want to point out, and I don't see enough Redlands doing this, maxing out that auto attack damage, never getting taken out there. That's got to be game. I don't see what Uberency can do, but look at like Nikki barely getting out brawled by a Ted there. Like Raylan barely getting out brawled by Ted. Auto attack damage, guys. It's so cost effective on Raylan, and I think it's so underappreciated. And so much more cost effective than the snipe damage. And Dave W going to get taken out. There's some good tracking coming out from Roach Cake. Going to go back in, and will he find the frag? He will. Wait, never mind. Not before Nikki has anything to do about it. But the break damage is going to take him off. And now Ubi going to finish everything off. Later in the game at 9 minutes and 9 seconds, 13 kills to 9, however. But a bunch of frags coming out from both sides. Well, it was super fast and wasn't close in terms of push. I mean, the blue team was finding the pickoffs. It just wasn't at the good times. You know what I mean? And that one wipeout where Ubi managed to find that final swap on Uber right in front of that top front turret right before everything ended was really significant to the red team and managed to kind of really be part of the reason why they snowballed as hard as they did. But they had some really good plays. Like I loved, you know, when Nimba went in like the way that he did. That was really well done. What are some of the other things that you think blue team could have done differently, both in terms of draft and gameplay?
I think the draft, you know, like I mentioned at the top of the round, I do think this Wiggins pick was not necessarily a mistake, but definitely a hard one to do. You know, when it comes to that, it's possible, but you have to be playing like, you know, pretty much perfect if you're going to be pulling swigs against that kind of a comp, especially against like some more Vinny, where he can, you know, just spike dive towards your anchor drop and be out of it and potentially silence everyone that's around it. And Ixu can just straight up break out of it no matter what. He doesn't really care about being dropped, anchored, or even being initiated upon, really. And beyond that, I think the biggest thing about that was that they just needed to be not so defensive, or like, you know, have a little bit more of an answer, or, you know, take a little bit more risks, because I think that's really what the red team was doing more so than the blue team, and I think that's really what won them the game, is them being able to take risks and not really pay for it. Honestly, there was no real consequences to a lot of the actions. You know, Nikki was doing a lot of things where, frankly, if the other team was being a little bit more on the ball about things, could have easily gotten some frags. You know, there was a lot of jump snipes where he was at 2 bars, or you know, him going in, even if it's a full auto attack railing, 3v1ing while he's at basically 3 bars. You know, even one ability on him could have been a kill if they just went in, but they kept getting pushed back and were, you know, the body language of them being scared, just like forced behind turrets, which, you know, and credit where credit's due, they were forced behind turrets in that situation. But if they had maybe answered with potentially, you know, a counter attack of their own, maybe things could have gone differently. But you know, like I said, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Crumbles indeed. Anyways, guys, we're gonna be right back with another match. Do not go anywhere. Hi, then welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble. June Gathers. With me today once again is Pyro Cheese. You ain't get in there, my good sir.
I'm doing just fine. Just so you guys know, this is going to be the last match that I do cast today. Been an honor before I do actually head out. Been an honor to be here. Glad to be invited, and I definitely would do this again.
Can we all get a Bible thump in the chat for Pyro, please?
Yeah,
right, not
please,
like this.
Or how about get one of those stinky cheese? That's a global emote, right? Stinky cheese. That's one that I know that Velcro in particular likes using when he mentions me. But in any case, yeah, I do have some things to take care of. But you know, great tournament so far. Glad I could be a part of it, and I'm ready to cast this match in particular.
Definitely. Their Velcro
there's Velcro. Velcro specifically. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated.
So with that said, guys, last match of the day. It's match 2 of Run versus Check Ourselves eSports. God, like they're just trying to make sure all their matches get casted, because I'm just gonna love saying, hey, they're versus Check Ourselves eSports.
Right.
Want to remind everyone, we got our bet system going on. Type who you think is going to win into the chat. Is it going to be red team or blue team? You have until the match begins to get your guesses in. And after the match, if you guess correctly, you're going to be eligible for a giveaway. It's going to be Run banning out Genji and X, picking up a Durple, Clunk, and a Swiggins, while Check Ourselves eSports is going to be banning out Benny and Century, and picking up a Ted McPayne, Penny Fox, and Chucho Krog. First time I've seen Chucho, thinking this tournament, I don't even know if I saw him at May Gathers. It's on Ribbit 4. How do you feel about these comments, Pyro?
I think first, Clunk is going to be a pretty ballsy pick, in my opinion. Clunk is classically kind of a lot of counters in this game, and Penny being one of them for sure. Chicho arguably being another, and Ted, he at that point is kind of just a pincushion for that. But I do kind of see that there's going to be potential for Clunk in that there's going to be that vertical movement from the middle jump pad as well as some lockdown from Durple and Swiggins. So it could work. It's potential, but definitely something that he's going to be really reliant on his team, especially to make it work for sure. So that's going to be something interesting to see. On the other side, I do see just a lot of harassment happening, really. Penny just being able to float around the map. Chucho, Sticky Bomb, that's going to be coming out, I'm sure, as well as Ted going to be able to do the airstrike in the middle area. So even if Durple does try to hold that down with some snares and things like that, going to be difficult to hold it for very long with Ted around. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of stuff plays out.
Definitely. So with that said, you got the triple tank. You got tank busters on the blue team though. That's kind of the thing I'm worried about is, you got Chucho and Ted. Face them. But we're gonna have to see because they are really squishy. And Swiggins' Clunk can do a lot of damage. I mean, Rich Cake has proven time and time again that his Clunk does not need setup. He doesn't need a Swiggins to be like, hey, I got an anchor hook, go get him. And he does not need a grid trap so they go, oh, hey, go get him, I grid trapped him. No, like, it's not about the grid trap, Pyro. Clunk is the grid trap.
I see what you're getting at. All right, then.
It's a reference to a previous Scrim show. Make sure you watch all the episodes so you can get the reference.
Yeah, right. We have VODs on YouTube.com, Twitch.tv. Just go.
Go,
right.
But
watch this first.
Yeah.
Don't leave just yet.
But once it's another caster, you can go watch the VODs because it's all about Pyro.
Yeah, right. It doesn't matter.
It's not about the other caster.
I'm not even gonna host this after. You don't even just. No, I'm just kidding.
Would you like to give us a countdown, my friend? Actually,
let's go and get into this.
Okay, I'm at 21-second mark now. Countdown next.
All right. Let's go ahead and do that in 3, 2, 1. Go.
And we're off on the red team. You got Roach Cake playing the Clunk. You got Uberancy playing the Swingins. And you got Namba playing the Durple on the blue side of things. You got Nikki playing the Ted McPain. You got Dave W playing the Chucho Croc. And you got Ubi playing the Penny Fox. So far, there's the Nick guys stepping in there off to the races. And the builds here, you got Snare coming out on Clunk, Agent Octant, Fat Cat, kind of typical stuff. Regent, Double Regent coming out on the Penny there. Anchor Dive coming out onto Nikki, and Pounce going to come back onto Uberancy. Ubi going to get caught out. There's going to be the Explode. It's going to connect, and Ubi actually taking a lot of damage here. Durple taking a while to get into this fight, and now they're all committing. Now Nikki in a 1v3 scenario. Anchor Dive is going to be a miss. That's very unfortunate. He's going to manage to pick up this health. Chucho Crowd coming in as fast as he can. And Nikki can be this first blood, I believe. And now there's going to be the Explode. That should be a double kill. That's going to be a 1 for 2. And now Ubi in a bad spot. Please tell me he dies. Okay, and that's going to be 1 for 3 wipeout in favor of Run right out of the bat. Nikki way out of position, and they should be in a good position to deal a lot of damage to this turret. I mean, they got a Durple just free raining on that and just going to town and melting it out. Like, what did Check Yourselves eSports, like, what should they have done differently during that engagement?
I think really it came down to the Ted being caught out alone. I think that's really what triggered it, and even at that point, I feel like, after seeing him being caught out on that corner on the left side of the map where the North Solar Boss normally spawns, I feel like they frankly should have just left him for dead. Because, I mean, it did turn out to be, retrospect 2020, but it turned out to be a 1 for 3 trade, so that's pretty heavily in the favor of the red team. That being said, though, Solar Boss is going to be spawning, and Uberancy going to be almost caught out right there. Dot going to be not quite taking him, it looks, almost going to be down there. There is going to be the Durple going down to a Sticky Bomb, though, unfortunately, though. It was looking at that at the bottom towards there, and that's going to be a mid-control for the blue team right there for sure. But I mean, so far, it doesn't look like there's been a whole lot of consequences from that wipe. There was a considerable amount of push on the top turret, but other than that, I mean, they have map control back. They're getting a lot of their hyper aggression back from last match, things like that. So I mean, it's going relatively okay for them. But I mean, things are closer so far than they were last time. I would say, it wasn't totally on the side of the red team or on the side of see y'all. Check yourselves EU.
Check yourselves Check yourselves eSports.
Check yourselves eSports. I gotta write that down for future use. No, I'm just kidding. But it's gonna be them. Gonna be an anchor drop right there on Ted right there. Ted Clunk company caught out right there. Unfortunately, airstruck imp and they're just taking down. Like I said,
body blocking that for Nick. That was really close to being a frag. I like the drop nuke there.
Right.
And Nikki taking that solar boss in, they want to contest it, but they know they can't. Look at all that area denial, man. Just like really cutting off those rotations there. What can the red team do about that?
I think it's gonna come down to finding some things like that. I think trying to find situations where they can pick off people one at a time, because that's really where they excelled last time around. You know, even with the mixed anchor dive and things like that, they were able to pick off Ted one at a time, and then Chucho once, and then Penny finally at the end of it. And I think that's really where it comes down to. They do have some area of effect damage, you know, nuke as well as a clock explode, but I think really what it comes down to is going to be a lot of a one-on-one situation or one-on-two situation where that is going to come out in their favor. That being said, Nikki is going to be almost taken down in this situation. They're going to teleport while being snared because that's just the way he rolls. And it's going to be right there. Red team going to be on the defensive in this case. Roach Cake is going to just do some clearing as well as Zerpal. Swin's going to come back in. Roach Cake looking for that jump explode, as I was mentioning, using that middle jump pad to his advantage, but not going to be able to find it, unfortunately. He's going to be taking a sticky bomb, not going to be quite enough to take him down. Clock's a little bit tankier than they might have expected. There is going to be some push on the top turret on the red side. And Triple going to be right there, just kind of pushing bottom instead of trying to defend top. He's going to be over there alone, and I was about to say he should probably try to get out pretty soon, and he is going to be doing that. So with that, they're going to be trying to get middle back. Maybe team fight, starting of a team fight going to be happening here. It looks like it is going to be an explode. That's going to be the Chushuk going to be down. They're going to be the Swiggin's going to be down as well. And the Durple is going to be 1v2ing right there. Not going to be able to find the exit, unfortunately. So Clunk going to be trying to come down, maybe looking for something right there. And that's going to be him down as well, only just. So with that, red team is wiped out. So it's going to be the opposite of what we saw a little bit ago. 1 for 3 trade in favor of the blue team, where earlier it was in the favor of the red team. So going to be the bottom turret down right there. You know, Ted left alone on that turret. That's a lot of damage right there. And then on the top right there, it's going to also get some damage. Potentially going to be able to bring it down now that they have all 3 members of the team right there. Yeah, it's just going to go down. It's actually just torn apart, really. So right there is going to be on left defensive. Both of the first turrets down on the red side and the blue side. Looking all right. They're going to be a full level ahead. They're going to have a solar advantage as well. Going to be taking down that solar boss. They maybe had the inkling of trying to contest it, but not going to be able to fight it, unfortunately. Double going to be right there. Nikki going to be going down as well. Clunk trying to find that explode. Almost going to get the bite off. That would have certainly killed Ubi, but not going to be able to find it, unfortunately. So that's going to be that. 1-for-1 trade overall. Chuchu just going to do a little bit of harassment, placing a stick bomb strategically where the old turret was standing, just for the sake of area denial, I'm sure. And they're just going to be doing that. There's going to be some free natural push on the bottom, a big bot right there, and 4 droids as well. Clunk going to be going down to clear that, not before. There's going to be a considerable amount of damage done to the turret, though. Just from bots alone. So that's going to be that. At this point, it looks pretty rough for the red team. So how do you think that the red team should answer to the situation right here?
Well, so far they're getting really zoned down. They're letting that DPS happen. It gets a comp like this, and so that's now the way saying there's going to be exploded. Broshki taking a lot of damage. He's going to get taken out there. Uberancy going in, and as well as Naaman. Naaman manages to take out Nikki with that drop nuke, but not before Ubi can turn that into a double kill. That's going to be in a 1v2 Uberancy in a 1v2 scenario versus Ubi and Dave W. Ubi going in, he's doing his best to get those droids pushed up. Hopefully, he should be able to get quite a couple of bars taken off of here. If Uberancy waits, and he's not going to hook anyway, so saying like Clunk's about to be back, maybe he can hook at the same time that Clunk comes off the jump pad rotation. That would be a very nice frag there. He's going to be missing everything, getting baited. Now that Volt's going to get pulsed out, and now they're taking a lot of damage. There's going to be airstrike. But just got taken down. Look at all that damage there. Tries to take out the nuke before he lands, just to make life easier for Uberancy. Unfortunately, it's not going to land, but I do like the selflessness there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just right now they're just completely back to their turret. The synergy from the blue team is completely out, but Roach Cake managing to finally turn things around, but not before Uberancy gets taken out. Pounce sticky bomb. That was a very nice bite explode coming out from Roach Cake there. It's what he's known for. He does it really well. Dave W going to go ahead and take out that solar boss. I love that Summertime Chucho, those beach ball sticky bombs. Those are the best. And Ubi just going ahead and just taking out that bottom turret, getting the chip in, getting the poke, just clearing so fast, and just never missing a single auto attack. And yeah, he just at this point it's very clockwork and mechanical for the blue team. You know, dodging, for example, they explode like clockwork. You can take a lesson, XD, and Ubi going in, and look at all this damage that's just being dealt. constantly. These stuns, these sticky bombs, these pulses, these bounces, and Amba's probably about to die. They're all gonna body him. I would have laughed so hard if he had tripled because they're all so low.
Yeah, he didn't find it, unfortunately, but yeah, that is going to be looking possibly like it's game. They're just going to get a lot of damage on that Gunpenny, Ted, and Chucho right there with the 2 sources of damage. Clunk trying to get there in time, but not going to be able to find anything, unfortunately. That is going to be a 2-0 in this series right here in favor of Check Yourselves eSports. Man, that's a pretty good name, gotta say. But yeah, that's going to be it. A decisive victory for the blue team again. Not a whole lot of push in terms of response from the red team. Anything different that they might have been able to do?
Well, the comps were kind of bad for them. You know, you had, as I called it in the pregame discussion, the tank busters, and you know, that's what Chucho does. He gets that sticky bomb in there. It's really, really, really hard, you know, for a guy like Clunk to dodge it and deals so much damage, and just completely, like, you know, just cuts through those massive HP bars like they're nothing. And, you know, Clunk's not gonna dodge it. Derpal literally can't dodge it. Wiggins can kind of dodge it a bit, but still gets hit by it more times than not. That's not even looking at, like, you know, the fact that's a Dave W. Chucho. That's just looking at the matchups without looking at the player names. In between, you know, Ubi Penny being one of the best nuts in the game, Nikki being one of the best Tets in the game, they just deal so much damage and always hit their things. They always coordinate together. You know, a bunch of people I think get the idea of how, you know, how to play competitively, you know, how to be synergized, but no one does it better than these guys. You know, their bursts are so coordinated and so at the same time, much more than any other team. That, you know, that's why they can consistently win these matches. You know, where other teams, you know, even if they won this match 2-0, you know, would have 20, 30-minute rounds. These guys had 2 sub-10-minute matches, and I think that just goes to show you just, you know, what you're capable of if you keep all your bursts together. Anyways, guys, that is going to be this best of 3 series. Check yourselves eSports. Is going to be moving on. Run is going to be running over to the losers bracket, even though they have been doing well so far. We did cast their win earlier. Pyro, it's your final moment. Any last thoughts before you head out of here, sir?
No. No, I'm just kidding. It was a pleasure to be here. It was awesome to be here. Pleasure casting with you guys. Nice to have Pillow here as well. He is the one who's running the show basically, and it's an honor to be invited by him as always. But with that, I will go ahead and make my way out of here and bid you guys best of luck with the rest of the tournament, and I will see you guys later.
Alrighty, you have a good one, my dude. Don't party too hard.
All right then.